to improve both your closeness with others, developing true, deep, meaningful bonds, and growing yourself in your intellect and general wisdom and knowledge, is to actively listen. Talk less, listen more. We spend a lot of our time talking and not listening. We ask people how they are in passing, a social platitude of politeness. But they could say anything from "I'm fine" to "my grandmother just passed away," and we would say, "Oh, great! Nice to see you too," and walk away. And why is this the case? Because we're not actively listening. We spend time in conversations with other people, waiting, paying just enough attention to know when and where we might insert an appropriate, effective response, because we are more concerned with how we are coming across, how we are able to keep up with the conversation, what we have to contribute, than what we are hearing, what we are being shared with about from the other person, what they are giving to us, what the world is saying to us. That's one more reason why it's important to take a step back, take a pause, and just be still for a little while. So you can listen to yourself. So you can listen to the messages. Truly listen to the messages being given. We don't just get education from education. We get education from observation, but you have to be actively observing. You can't be self-focused. Here's something interesting. Everyone is that way. So as concerned as you are about how other people are perceiving you at any given moment, that other person is equally concerned about how you are perceiving them, so they're paying very little attention to you and more attention to themselves and how they're coming across. So as much as you're concerned about how you're coming across, most people aren't even paying attention. So you're afforded much better benefits from actively listening, actively observing, letting go a little bit of that, where do I insert myself next in this conversation? What do I say next? What do I do next? I, me, and intently concentrate on the other person. Intently concentrate on the situation at hand. Actively observe, actively listen, step back, ask questions. People love to talk about themselves. So when someone opens up to you, ask them, tell me more about that. Could you explain a little bit more? Please tell me more. Oftentimes people aren't talking to you when we're forming intimacy in an expectation to have you solve their problems, have you have the answer or the solution. They're talking to you to share their feelings, their emotions, their thoughts, their opinions. Share of themselves. Be willing and open receptacle for their sharing of themselves through active listening. Truly pay attention to the person you are talking to. Look them in the eyes. Give occasional nods and other nonverbal indications that you are paying attention. Reiterate back to them what you think you heard them say. Now, if I'm understanding you correctly, I think you said that you feel, I think you said that you were fill in the blank, and ask them questions so that they carry on their conversation, and actively listen, not for a chance to include yourself in the conversation, but to absorb information about this other person, to absorb information about life and other people's feelings, thoughts, experiences in situations. Watch the dynamics of your coworkers with each other. Watch the dynamics of your boss with your coworkers. Watch the dynamics of your workplace. Watch the dynamics in your church. Listen to the sermon. See if you can get something out of it. It may not be the intended education meant from the educator. Anyone in our life and any situation in our life can be a teacher if we are actively observant rather than actively obstinate. Always wanting to put our opinion out there, our interpretation out there. Always viewing through our lenses and wanting to insert our input or avoid and tune out altogether, such as the sermon at church. Watch what's going on around you. Watch how the people are. Watch how the situation is. Watch how people interact. Actively observe and actively listen. Not waiting to put your 2 cents in. A penny for your thoughts. Oh, so the saying goes. If you want more opportunity to grow, you have to know yourself, actively, quietly, introspectively listening to yourself as you are. More about the world. Actively, quietly listening, seeing, observing the world as it is. More about others and closer relationships. Actively, intently, with genuine interest and curiosity, interacting with others. Actively listening. So when you approach life, learning, people, Kitty, the world as it is, people as they are, yourself as you are, if you want to know the truth and you want to know more about how things work, why they are, and take an education in from the things around you and form deeper bonds with those around you. Talk less, listen more. Quote, quote, quote of the day, by the way. It's a kitty. Quote, quote, quote of the day. Talk less, listen more. You'll be amazed at what you learn when you truly take the time to intentionally stop, observe, and listen to the world and the people around you. Love you guys. Good morning.